Welcome back, all you rum fans. My name's Steve the Barman, and I'm here to help you on your rum journey, but mainly focusing on rums under £50 in the UK, and whatever that translates into around the world, into euros, into dollars, into Canadian dollars, Australian, whatever, but £50 in the UK. You can do your own maths. In today's little rum review video, I have got the Boutique-y Rum Company, the signature blend number 2. That's what we're going on. Product of Jamaica and Guyana. So let's quickly dive into this. What are the Boutique-y Rum Company? Let's get that out of the way first and foremost. For me, I affectionately call them Master of Malt own brand. Master of Malt, essentially where I buy all my booze from in the UK, online, brilliant, genius, been using them 15 plus years, whatever. I love them to bits. They have their parent company, it's Atom. And Atom have loads of subsidiary companies, and Atom Brands is one of those. So the Boutique-y Rum Company, you guys, like years ago, I've featured like the Jaffa Cake gin and the Jaffa Cake rum and vodka and all that sort of stuff. There's other spiced rums. Rum Bullion, for instance, is one of their brands. Let's get Rum Bullion out to play. No, we won't, it's stuck in there, but Rum Bullion's another one of theirs. So Boutique-y Rum Company, like the Boutique-y Gin and the Boutique-y Whiskey Company, are separate kind of subsidiaries all there, and they've all got someone that kind of heads them up. And the rum company is Pete Holland of Floating Rum, the Floating Rum Shack. What is it? I forget what it is. Floating Rum Shack? I think it's the Floating Rum Shack of fame. He's been doing that many, many years. He's also brand ambassador for like Foursquare in the UK, like Dawley's, the Real McCoy and all that sort of stuff. Very busy boy, knows his rum, so he is the face behind this, and I dare say is actively involved in tasting and putting these blends together and all that sort of stuff. So with that all in mind, what specifically do the Boutique-y Rum Company, or what do they do? What are they about? So the Boutique-y Rum Company have this vision, same with the Whiskey and the Gin, of being able to bring you limited releases, limited batches from rum distilleries all around the world. So they're completely unadulterated rums. I'll get onto this in a second, but completely unadulterated, no colours added, no sugars. They don't need to, because they are one batch releases. If those batches do really well and get great reviews, then they might come back for a batch 2, a batch 3, but it will never be labelled up as the same rum. It will specifically say batch 2, batch 3, etc, etc, etc. The two exceptions to that are the two signature blends, number 1 and number 2. So number 1 is white rum, Jamaica and Martinique, and number 2 is obviously the gold rum, Jamaica and Guyana. So, and also they are 500ml bottles for the limited releases, but the permanent stocks are 70s or 700ml, whatever you call them in the UK. Let's say Europe, I am seeing them in Canada, I am seeing them in the US as well. They're steadily making their ways around the world. So that is the Boutique-y Rum Company. In a sense, that's what these are. These two, Signature 1 and 2, designed for pretty much day-to-day general use, bars, people at home, that kind of vibe. Nothing special, but good rums. Okay, that's kind of what they're going for. So what else can I tell you about this? I will come on to Rum X in a bit. That's always making the bulk cup of that. And for the eagle eyes amongst you as well, you'll see 2 extra glasses there. And I'll tell you what they are when we get into that bit at the end. But we do the Coke, the ginger and the cocktails and all that tasting, how it works at the end. So the other things to tell you, 42% ABV, £29.90 logged out Master of Malt, so just slightly under £30. Smuggler's Cove categories, I think this is technically category 2, so lightly aged blended rums. Don't know the ages of the rums in here. There's no age statements, so it might be category 3, but I would put this down into category 2, if I'm being honest, lightly aged. So it's officially called single blended rums. So I'm assuming it's one rum from each distillery. So one pot, one still from each distillery. So one still off Guyana DDL essentially, and one still off Jamaican. That's what a single blended should mean in my eyes. Okay, so there we go. Right, let's crack on. So the Rum Exact, Pablo Oliver, I give him a shout out in every video. He's a legend. It's a great app. If you're in Europe, download Rum X. It will be coming to the US and Canada very soon, but it's really helped train my palate, look for other things that I can see in rums, see other people's tasting notes. You create your own profile. and you just score things, and it's a really good database for yourself, but other people as well. So you can kind of see what other people think of rums and think, oh, I might like to buy that, and all that. It's a brilliant, brilliant app. I love it for the rum community. So let's crack on. The first thing we have to do in the Rum X app is give it the colour. There's a colour little scheme on there that you can kind of match up to it. I've gone for Russet Muscat. I'm not sure whether you'll see that on my colourful shirt, but Russet Muscat, that's what I've called that. Now, what can I smell? This is quite an interesting one on the old whiffs, on the old nostrils. So I've gone for banana up top. It was the first thing that kind of hit me. Sort of not even overripe banana, just banana. Just a traditional banana, that's what I got off there. And then it goes into tropical fruit vibes. I've put caramel, I've got dried fruit. But after like a few seconds, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds or so, something like that, that's when I start to get the little journey of the rum. I get the kind of, the sort of richness, the demerara, the sort of molasses notes coming off the Guyanese rum. But that sort of, right at the back of that, is something that I would put as Jamaican. Now, here's the caveat. If I was tasting this blind and didn't know what that is, I don't think I would ever pick Jamaican off that. The banana might go, oh, that might be Jamaican, but don't think this has got that typical Jamaican funk aspect to it. I don't think it has. It's kind of, in the Jamaican grand scheme of things, it's kind of even less than Appleton. Appleton are very approachable brands, whereas you get to Worthy Park, you get to Hampden, all those sort of things, they are out there with funk bombs and stuff like that. This isn't in that sense, but that banana stuff, I kind of would associate that with Jamaica, but being blind, I don't know whether I get it. So, scores on the old doors. As always, I add the sweetness score in because I like to gauge how sweet this is going to be. So I've given it a 3. I think this has got potential to be sweetened. I don't know whether I mentioned this. Sorry if I'm saying stuff again, but they are all unsweetened rums. I know the limited releases for 100% are unsweetened, unadulterated, uncoloured, all that stuff. They don't need to because they are limited batches. Whether the 2 signatures are or not, I don't know. Knowing Pete Holland and if he's involved, I would say not. I would say there's no sugar added to these, but I don't know for 100%, all right? But I am picking up a slight bit of sweetness off this, so 3. Fruit, 3. Floral, 1 out of 5. Sorry, so 3 out of 5 essentially for fruit, 1 out of 5 for floral, 2 out of 5 for spices, 2 out of 5 for woody oaky notes, 1 out of 5 for roasted, and 2 out of 5 for rounded. The emphasis for me is on that fruit, but there is a touch of the wood oak vibes coming out of there. So, and I've also got their tasting notes and all that I'm going to read you out and kind of go what other people have scored as well. So on the old tasting, this is kind of funny one because this is kind of the opposite, and it really does take you on a journey because on the nose you get the fruit up front, on the palate, on the taste you get those wood notes out front, and it might put quite a few of you fruitier, softer rums lovers off. But bear with it, give it a few seconds because that wood, that oak vibe, the sort of roasted, rounded vibes, very quickly dissipate. I like that word, I'm going to put that in there again. Dissipate into fruit. Woohoo! Does this finish strong with fruit and a subtle hint of spice. So I've got, for tasting notes, I've got woody oak, spice, dry tannin. It is very dry around the tongue and around the gums initially. But then that really kind of finishes off into tropical fruit, dried fruit for the Guyana. So tropical fruit, Jamaica, Guyana would be the sort of dried fruit notes off there. But right at the end, right at the back, very specifically dark chocolate. I'm not talking my favourite dairy milk, plain chocolate, milk chocolate. I'm not talking that. Very specifically dark chocolate and burnt sort of sugar vibes on the end. So it's like, it's really journeyman rum. Is that the right thing to say? Takes you on a journey. Anyway, which I do like for some rums. I do kind of like those journeys, those kind of, what it bounces off. So, scores on the doors for this. The sweetness, I was right. 3. I've given this a 3 out of 5 for sweetness. Fruit levels, 3 out of 5. Floral, 1 out of 5. Spices, 2. Woody oaky, 3 out of 5. Roasted, 1. Rounded, 2 out of 5. So, while the while the fruit and the wood I've both given 3s, it is wood up front and it is fruit at the back. It is fruit on the finish. So, you know, it's a really good journey sort of rum. This, right. And finish, I would say sort of medium. It's not long, medium long at a push, but not long. Right, let's give you what other people have scored here before I give you scores on the doors. On the old nostrils, and I've got Pete Holland's tasting notes, or nosing notes and tasting notes as well. So what other people have smelled? Dried fruit, banana, raisin, molasses, caramel, funky, banana, I'd kind of give that. Sugarcane, papyrus, apricot, again, no and no. I'm not picking those up. Candied fruits, no and no. Fresh, not really. And the favourite ones coming out against play, smoky, solvents, spicy and nutty. Solvents, no. I did have a nail polish one last night on the live stream. But no, not solvents. I don't know where that's coming from. Pete Holland's a word wizard, knows 3 oily walnuts, rich molasses, dark chocolate, oaky tannins and spicy nutmeg. There are pitted, medjool dates, raisins, papaya and banana bread. So not getting the walnuts. Molasses, yeah, I kind of get. Oaky tannins, yes. Spicy nutmeg. I'm not getting a spicy nutmeg. I'm getting a bit of spice, but not nutmeg. Not getting dates and papaya. Banana bread, I've got banana. So yeah, I kind of see that. Right, let's get on to the old what people have tasted. Let's click that magical buttons. Right, and then scroll down there. So other people have got dried fruit, apricot, dark chocolate, oak, sweet, tropical fruits, sugar, burnt sugar, caramel. Nothing out of the ordinary there. I kind of agree with that. And then we get, it's a fun one coming here. Actually, I'll leave them till the end. Then we've got mild, young wood, pineapple, fruity. I want to smell different woods. So I kind of want to distinguish between woods. But the 2 here, solvents, our friend solvents is coming out to play. But there's another one, meaty. Does that mean steak? Does it mean veal? Or does it mean full-bodied? I don't know what meaty means, but I would never have said meaty. I don't know what that relates to. So, yeah, brilliant. And then, Peter Holland's tasted notes, again, wordsmith. More woody spice, a hint of engine oil and sweet tobacco makes way for a coconut husk. Don't get the coconut. Juicy pineapple and roasted apricot. An underlying note of sugarcane is present amongst the darker notes of game meat. Oh, game meat, there we go. So I should have read this first, shouldn't I? Is present amongst darker notes of game meat, coffee beans and returning dark chocolate, before herbal notes of black tea and eucalyptus emerge. Wow, I should have read this first. Eucalyptus, no. Herbal notes, no. Of black tea, no and no. Game meat, no, that's lost on me. No. Nothing in that screams meat, game. Nothing for me in that. But woody spice, yeah. Engine oil, yeah. Sweet tobacco, yeah. No. Coconut. Yeah, there's a lot of words there that I don't necessarily pick up or agree with at this stage in my rum journey. I'm not saying Pete's wrong. Love Pete, love you. But I do get very different things. But I'm still like new to this journey and learning all the time. So that's fine. Right, scores on the old doors before we get into the old tasties. So I've given this a 72 out of 100. I don't think it's better than Pleasant, which is 60 to 69. But it's nowhere near being very good, which is 80 to 89. So the lower end of good for me, 72. Quite happy with that. And then other people have given this. This is the fun bit I like, and I can see it now I've done. So 18 reviews. It is averaging 73. We've got one person that scored it in the 40s, one person in the 80s, 2 people in the 60s, but everyone else has gone 70s. And I'm guessing by that average score, I'm guessing it'll be about 74, 75 for most people there. So I'm about on the money with other people. So let's get on to the old taste test before I sum up. So the Coke and the ginger ale. All right, Coke. Ginger ale, not a fan of. I don't think that's a rum and ginger ale kind of drink. Just not a fan of either of those really. It's all right as a rum and Coke. I've got better rum and Cokes. I've tasted better rum and Cokes. That's all for me. The 2 new little beasts. I don't know why I didn't include them from the off, but I should have done. Ginger beer and spiced orange ginger ale. You guys have been asking for it. I've done it. So there we go. Ginger beer. Love. Probably my favourite long mixed drink for this. Highball, rum highball, ginger beer. It's Old Jamaica ginger beer. That's what I'm using for that. A little bit of sweetness to it. And I think that works a treat. The spiced orange ginger ale from Fever Tree would be my second placed highball. It is a lot better than plain ginger ale. There's something with those orangey notes in the ginger that works quite well with that rum. So I'm a fan of those two. I would probably plump for the ginger beer, if I'm being brutally honest, even though I love spiced orange ginger ale. So the three cocktails: daiquiri, rum fashioned. You can see how long that's been sitting here now. Rum fashioned and the punch. The daiquiri, not a daiquiri rum for me, which I'll come on to in a second in the summing up. I'm not a fan of that as a daiquiri. The rum fashioned, the little hint of sugar and the bitters and a little bit of extra water brings something else in that to play, but it's a lovely rum fashioned, really nice way to drink it. I just think I've had better rums, that's all for this. And the rum punch, look, the rum punch is going to be lovely. Just to recap, 1, 2, 3, 4, a dash of spice to make it nice. 1 part lime, 2 parts sweet is honey and strawberry, 3 parts rum, 4 parts weak is your passion fruit juice, and a dash of Angostura, dash of spice to make it nice. It is a really, really nice rum punch. Does the rum come out in that? No, it's a generic rum. There's no character in that rum that really comes through in that. It's just a great rum punch, a generic rum punch. Could be any rum in there, but it is nice. And that's kind of, the reason why I've done a fun and fruity rum punch is because I wanted to see what rums sort of shine through. And even I've done white rums in this, and white rums do shine through the same way dark rums do shine through. So it is all about the rum at the end of the day. So yeah, overall, it's a pretty decent rum. But let's get into the summing up for it. So summing up, the 3 questions I asked myself: would I buy it again? Is it value for money? Or the other way around, I should say. Is it value for money? Would I buy it again? Are there other similar rums that I would compare, comparable rums? So let's get into this. This is a blended rum. Pete Holland, in the, or Master of Malt, I should say, in the tasting notes, described this as being a rum for a Mai Tai. I think if you use this solely as your 50ml, 60ml base of your Mai Tai, I think you're going to be left lacking. There isn't enough character in that for it to be a quality Mai Tai rum. Me personally, I want those real hits of like a funk, the real hits of a dark rum in a Mai Tai. That's me personally. For some of you, you're going to love it, but I just think the majority are going to left wanting more from that as a Mai Tai rum. £30 though. The competition, if you can loosely call it competition, they're not really direct, but loosely. You've got Black Tot, which is 39 quid, so an extra tenner on there. You've got the Lost Years 4-year-old, Four Island on there. So you've got, as well as Jamaican and Guyana, and you've got 2 others in there as well, is £38, so £9 more expensive. You've got the Forza, which again has got 2 others, other islands, other countries in there as well, on top of the Guyana and Jamaican, but it's lovely at £43. And then you've got Plantation OD, no Guyanan, but Jamaica and Barbados, and you've got OFTD as well. £23 for the OD, $37.95 for the OFTD. I'm going to review the OFTD in the very next video. That's what's coming up here. For 30 quid, it's the cheapest one on there. Do you know what? I know what's going to happen with the OFTD video, and I know it's a bit more expensive, but I think even the Plantation OD, even though it's a different blend, gives you more character in your drinks than what this does.